Hi, guys. How are you? Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Thursday Talks. I'm Jillian, for those of you who don't know me. Today, I have a really great guest on. As always, you guys are going to love her so much. And I'm really excited to bring her on. Her name is Myrna Triano. She has so many cool things that she's done. And like I said, I can't wait to grace you guys with her presence. So let me bring her on. I'm going to tell you all about her in one sec. Myrna, let's get you on here, girl.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody.
How are
What a
you?
pleasure to see everyone here in this zone. And then I'm in my Zen here.
Oh,
Hi,
I love
Angel.
that.
Thank you.
So peaceful. Look at that beautiful setup you have. I love that. So pretty.
Yeah, it's where I get a lot of my intuitive insights and just knowing what I should do, be still or be present or just do what you're supposed to do. And you
Yeah.
just figure it out.
I love creating sacred spaces to do well for thought. I mean, in meditation, I same thing. I have my spot, but I want to tell everybody about you. You have some really cool things that you do. I wrote them all down so I don't forget any of them, and there's probably even more than what I wrote. So, Myrna is a craniosacral therapy practitioner, which you guys are going to hear about soon, which I have yet to have done on me, and I can't wait. Medical intuitive, which I think is fascinating on so many levels. Reiki master, IET practitioner, master teacher, licensed massage therapist, certified angel card and oracle reader, sound and light healer. You name it, she does it, and she does some amazing things. And you know what's really cool? When we first met, I feel like we connected pretty quick, and we have the same birthday, come to find out. How cool is that?
I know, December 3rd. That was so ironic.
That was great. And the
I know.
Sagittarius, I'm telling you, we stick together, right?
No, I'm sure there's so much insight that we all have.
Seriously, it's amazing. I find I'm very drawn to people of that sign, very fascinated by, very drawn to, and very comfortable with. So I feel like when you and I met, we instantly had a really great connection. So again, I'm so happy to have you on tonight. People are going to love all the cool things you have to talk about. So let's get into it. So you
Let's
guys
do
heard
it.
all the cool things she does. I'm telling you, she does a lot of neat things. But that wasn't always the case, right? So you worked in corporate America for a really long time. You were a database analyst, right?
That's correct. Yep.
So what caused the shift for you to go from that very analytical black and white kind of world to this very holistic path that you're in now?
A lot of things transpired to the shift.
Mhm.
We were told as youngins, you got to go to college, get a career, and do well in it. And I always wanted to be a mother. I thought that would be a great completion of my life and being in the business for so long. And database was actually the platform for me to be guided by intuition because database and SQL, there's so many tables that you had to connect and figure out to make the data flow out of the computer.
Mhm.
So learning that at an early age, and as a young person, I love reading encyclopedias. So I did encyclopedias A to C after school at the tender age of 8 years old.
Yeah.
So I did that constantly every day.
Mhm.
And when I became pregnant, which was very hard for me to get pregnant, and I did, I had a daughter. And the onset of having her I already had gestational diabetes and all that stuff. And I followed directions, la, la, la. And then the next thing, she was born. And then by 8 months, my mom picked up on it. She's another intuitive. She picked up on it. That's not a normal cough. I think she has asthma. Let's get her to CHOP and figure out what's going on. So we took her to CHOP. She was on, from that point on till 5 years old, on so many medications, 5 different types of medications, nebulizer every 2 hours, her life. And I said, this has to change. So I started researching. I started going to my database, my own internal database, my own intuition, my heart and mind, connecting all three, and discovered that certain regimens help to eliminate the inflammation in your pulmonary lungs. So vitamin E, vitamin A, even cod liver. And my mom said, cod liver, there's a cod liver in Puerto Rico that we always use and it helps. Test her on that. It's cherry flavor. We'll do it. Well, I did that religiously from 8 months to 5 years old. She is now an a cappella president, singer. She does rugby. She graduated college in 3 years. She doesn't have any onset of asthma at all whatsoever. And I always had some touch with healings. I always did reflex on her feet as an infant with lavender oils. So that just took off, and I said, okay, I have to do something. I have to do something. And I always had issues within myself too, my body, myself, allergies. And I always went in and said, okay, something's got to give, something's got to work. I can't depend on doctors all the time. Yes, you go to doctors and listen to them and do, but you and yourself figure out what works for you. And then from there, wean off of things. I don't encourage clients at all to wean off of any medication. Follow the doctor's orders, and then come to me for extra boost to your immune system.
Yeah. That's amazing that all stemmed from something that actually happened to you, because when I heard that you were this data analyst in corporate America for all these years, and now I didn't know you then, I know you now, and I'm thinking, wow, what an interesting shift. I wonder what caused this. So it's very interesting to hear that something in your own life with your daughter, seeing her wellness just kind of burst from these homeopathic remedies and these different things. So I believe in that stuff wholeheartedly too. So that's really cool. This actually brings me into my next question.
Sure.
So you do craniosacral therapy, which is fascinating to me. Whoever hasn't had it yet, I hear Myrna is one of the best. So you guys got to check her out. But can you tell us, for the people who have never even heard of this before, can you tell us a little bit about what craniosacral therapy is and how it kind of connects your mind, body, spirit, and it creates wellness in your body? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. This craniosacral therapy was introduced by a doctor in osteopathic medicine. He was the head researcher in biomedics at the University of Michigan. So he did a lot of research on the patterns of the central nervous fluid system that's inside your spine. And so he did several techniques hands-on with different neurologists, including himself. And he found 10-step protocol that literally trip up your pulse rate of your central nervous systems. You have pulse rates for your heart, pulse rate for your neck. The pulse rate for the craniosacral system to be optimal is between 6 to 8 pulse rate. 6 to 12, I meant. And by doing that, you have to be really in tune with the biorhythms and be in tune with body, neurology, kinesiology, muscles, neurons, and all that stuff. Hence, that's why I picked the dandelion as my logo. The dandelion stem is the central nervous system, and the little flower that blows out are the neuron signals, transmitters going out to tell each part of your body that it needs to, I need to work on this area because it needs to loosen up or it's tight. Or, oops, it needs to go here because it's been locked in because of an ankle sprain and it had an injury back then. So we're going to send some happy neurons to those areas so it can release that memory and that trauma of that injury, because muscle tissues retain trauma injuries. Wow. They remember. And during the course of taking these classes, they're pretty intensive. I'm there with physical therapists, occupational therapists, nurses, doctors, and you can see their actual trauma unfolding on just 10 different acupressure points, which is the weight of a nickel. So everyone out there, get a nickel, put it on your palm of your hands. That is the actual pressure that I use for this system to just boost up your central nervous system to help with depression, anxiety, trauma, PTSD, cancer. It's endless. And if you go to the www.upledgerinstitute.com, it has exactly what it does and what the purposes are.
Wow. Again, this fascinates me. I love massage. I love Reiki. I love IET. I love all of this stuff. So I have yet to have craniosacral done, and I'm dying to have it done. So let's add this to my list of things I want to do. But it's so interesting to me how interconnected everything is. And you said that this was a service that has light touch. Is that what it is? It's not necessarily.
It's a very light manual therapy session. Yeah. Right.
And how long is a typical session usually?
First timers that never had a boost in their central nervous system, I typically go from an hour to 15 minutes. People who already had 1 or 2 sessions with me, I can get them done in 45 minutes.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I also have Reiki in my hands and I also have IET in my hands. So when I just trigger on the cranial sacral 10-point protocol,
Yeah.
all that is ingested into you as well.
People must feel so relaxed and such a nice feeling coming out of something like this. I could only imagine. So I'm really excited to get it done. So I'm gonna put that on my list of things to do.
Okay, sounds
Another
great.
cool thing, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm excited to have you do it too because, like I said, I really I love all the stuff that you do. And here's another cool thing, medical intuitive. So you had just touched on, craniosacral, which clearly has a lot of medical jargon in it too, as well as the holistic approach. So being a medical intuitive, that's just sounds really neat. So what exactly is that? Like, what are the feelings you get, and how did you know you were a medical intuitive, or how did this develop? Maybe.
It developed after Reiki, as a matter of fact, because the first Reiki person I went to class for 1 and 2, she actually said, "Oh my gosh, can you work on me after we're done? Because I want to see where you're going with this."
Yeah.
So she was actually the one that said, "You need to go to massage therapy because in there you will know how to see the organs and everything." Because when I was working on her just on a Reiki level, I said, "Oh, Faye, do you have this going on? I see this, and I see some blockage in your valves or in your mental areas of the right and left hemisphere of your brain." And then she just went, "Okay, start with massage therapy as your first step protocol." And what really opened me up more so is after I finished my Reiki and Reiki Master and then IET, and I finally said, okay, cranial sacral is the way to go, because I always wanted to be a neurosurgeon, but didn't want to go through all the years of extensive learning. So once I did the cranial sacral therapy first class and second class, my third sight of looking at your organs or looking at blockage, looking at scarring was more enhanced, and I'm able to go right to the source and work that out for you.
That is so powerful. Think about how great that would be if everybody can go to someone like you and have this done, because so many people have issues going on that maybe they don't even know about. I had a Reiki woman years ago. First time I ever had Reiki, it was before my husband and I got married. And she told me about a injury in my knee and an injury in my hip. And I'm thinking, how the heck does she know this? I was so baffled by this that she did this whole body scan on me. So I get where you guys, I guess, could be very in tune with this. And I left with just my mind blown. And I got home, my husband said, "How did it go?" I said, "I don't even have words for that." It was mind blowing. She knew so many things about me, and I didn't even know this woman. So I think that's super, super cool that somebody can go to you and you can kind of tune into what's going on
Right.
the side and help
Right.
them.
And people who come to me are pretty much prepared because they're just done with the medical industry. I mean, they still go,
Yeah.
but then they said, okay, we read into homeopathic medicine, and then there's Reiki, and then there's IT, and then there's all these other sources, and they seem to work. And there, an example, my coworker from the corporate industry, I known her for 7 years. She just started seeing me in June, and in 3 sessions, she's like, "You release so much more than my own actual counselor and my chiropractor with past injuries," because she had a knee surgery and hip surgery and also ankle. So, and she's able to go back to walking and exercising again like she used to by the 3rd session. But she was open and ready.
Yeah.
She was done. She was just done, and she'll continue to go to chiropractor, which I always tell them, go back to your counselor and see what they say after these sessions. Yeah.
And I would be interested to be a fly on the wall to hear what these other professionals say once they come back and they're improving. There's such a power to energetic healing in all of these different modalities. And I feel like it's becoming more, I don't want to say more commonplace, but people are starting to know more mainstream, I guess. People are starting to really be aware of all of these other options. And like you said, we're not telling anyone to go stop what you're doing, stop taking your medication,
No,
none of that.
no.
However, there are ways to incorporate other really beautiful things in that not only help your body, like Myrna was saying, they help your mind. Whenever I have a session in any of these energy healing modalities, I leave just on a different level, mind-wise too. So that's why I was saying with the whole mind, body, spirit thing, it's all very connected.
Exactly. And here's a tip for everybody. They don't know about this. You are your own inner physician. So when you're on that table and you allow me, your own body is actually communicating to me and saying, yes, go here and stay on there and just be aggressive. And sometimes I say, please stop. I can't go anymore. And I do listen because that's my intuition. Listening to your inner physician saying, please stop. I can't go any further. I got this. I'll process this. And that's your central nervous fluid system telling me it's all intertwined, mind, body, and spirit.
That is so fascinating. The body is so fascinating. The thing, it's such a finely tuned machine, and there's so much more, like this whole other layer, you know.
Absolutely.
So I think that bringing this stuff to the mainstream is so important for people, because I know people that love their chiropractors because some chiropractors bring in a different approach than your traditional medical doctors, but they still really trust them because it's a doctor, you know. This is going to a whole nother level now where it's really this energetic healing space. But like you said, with craniosacral, it's not just energetic. There's a whole medical background to it. So again, guys, if you've never done any type of energy healing work of any kind, like Myrna has mentioned, there's Reiki, there's IET, there's craniosacral, there's a lot of sound and light healings. There's so many cool things that you could look into that really, really make a huge difference. So actually, you know what? I'm going to put your website up here.
Sure.
If you guys want to connect with Myrna, here is her website for her business, Triangle Rivers. I'm sorry, tongue twister. She does all of these things that we're talking about. And I could tell you right now, she's got really amazing energy. It's not just because we share a birthday. She really does have amazing energy. And you guys, seriously, it would be, you know, it would be an amazing experience for you guys to check it out. So if you want to connect with her, there is her website right there. And I'm also going to stick her Instagram up here too, if you want to connect with her on there. Same one as the website. And then obviously on Facebook, you guys can connect too. But let's talk about something that I love. I do these every day, pretty much. I would say 9 out of 10 days, right? Angel cards. So I always knew since a child that I had a lot of intuition, a lot of things that were just a little different, not different. Everyone has it, but maybe a little more heightened. But tarot cards I never connected with. And you had mentioned the same. Angel cards, however, I was introduced to by one of my friends, and I fell in love. And I know that you are an angel card and oracle reader. So can you talk about angel cards? Because I think that there's a lot of people out there that might feel how I felt, like tarot cards you just don't resonate with them, and that's okay. But there's an alternative, a really beautiful one. Can you talk about that a little bit?
It all started when my daughter was 2 years old, and she's like, Mom, I could see someone in my bedroom, and I'm not scared, but I just want to know if it's okay. And I said, yeah, it's absolutely okay. And I pulled out Shamuel to help her with her sleeping patterns. It will be okay. And ever since then, I said, okay. Shamuel came in, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start researching and looking into card readings that resonate with me and what I do. And when I looked into angel card readings, I felt an instant connection, because my entire life, I've always had intuitive protection, and it's always the angels who were always there for me. Even at a tender age of 7 years old, there was a car following me towards school, and the intuition said, Myrna, please cross the street because he's going with you as he's driving. So I did listen and cross the street at the light. And then he wasn't able to follow me because I'm going the opposite way. Yeah, it delayed me from going to school, but it actually saved my life because he did turn around, and I went up the stairs. The intuition and angels were that were protecting me said, please go up this lady's step, knock on the door, and pretend you know her. And I did. I was only 7 years old and I did that. And so that car following me just left because there was no intent in there. And ever since then, I said, this is my go-to. This is who I connect. And I was able to find cards that I resonate with because I went to Barnes and Nobles and Borders and looked at cards in that area. And I will hover my hand, even not knowing I didn't have Reiki then. I just hover. I say, oh, this one calls to me. So when I do that and I started doing the cards myself, I'm like, wow, look at this. And I tried it on my daughter and she's like, yeah, Mom, this really worked related for me for today at school or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's good. And then I started doing towards a friend, a dear friend named Della. And she said, you really connect with angels. And she's the one that pushed me to do Reiki. And she's like, let's do this angel board game and see if it works for you. And I'm like, it did. So they were just speaking to me like as you and I are speaking to me. So that's why I gravitate towards those more. It's a pure channel, is an angelic channel, and it literally talks to your heartstrings and your mind, and it just connects to on just a higher level. Mm-hmm. And I just love them. I relate to them.
I agree.
And there's no hindrance in the other cards because everyone has their beautiful intuitive gifts with other cards that they love to use. And I don't condone them, and everyone has amazing talents within what they use. So you use the tool that works best for you. It's just like when you're cooking, what do you want to use? You want to use a spoon or a spatula. You use what you're comfortable with. That's exactly what these cards are. You use what you're comfortable with and what your insight is there to give that reading for that person.
That's a really good point, because I guess I never thought about it that way. I resonated more with the angel cards. I feel like tarot cards just, again, did nothing for me, so I never went to them. When angel cards were presented to me a couple of years ago, I instantly felt the connection, and it felt really good. Yeah. And it didn't feel scary. It felt just really reassuring. And I thought, oh my God, I didn't even know these existed, I guess. And since then, I had gotten an oracle deck that I don't resonate with at all. And then I got another oracle deck that I love. So I guess you're right. It just is whatever your preference is, whatever you feel called to. I do, sometimes when I do pulls, I do the hand over the cards, and whatever one I feel is the one that I choose. And they're always spot on.
Yes,
and
they're
beautiful messages. And it just,
they are.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, it is.
Now, a friend of mine that was on this show not that long ago sent me a deck of oracle cards. So I think I told you about them. That Colette, Oh my God, I can't remember what her last name is. Colette,
Baron Reed, something.
Yes.
Yeah.
The postcards from Spirit.
Those, I like hers too. Yeah.
They were really, really nice. And again, I really connected to them. And a lot of the artwork on the backs of her cards had like cherubs and things of that nature. And that reminds me a lot of my mom, who my mom passed away. And my mother's mother, my grandmother, her name was Angel, ironically. And I said, oh my God, this is all kind of coming together. And now on Saturday, I'm learning the first level of IET, which deals with angels as well. So I'm really excited about that.
The 12 DNA, oh, they're amazing. And when you're working with them, they're actually coming through and helping the individual that you're working on. On the 12 DNA traumas, emotional sides, it is amazing work as well.
I can't wait. I am so excited. I've been wanting to do this for 2 years now, and the timing never worked. And it's working.
All about timing. It's all about timing, because when you're in that zone and that timing, it is going to be attuned for you and at its ultimate level for you as well.
I'm so excited. Now let's talk about intuition, because that's another thing I've been really, really delving into a lot. A lot of people that I talk to, I do hair, so I talk to a lot of different people, and a lot of people say to me, and I find myself saying it too, like, I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, or what my life's purpose is, or those types of things. What can you tell our viewers about intuition, following your intuition, as it relates to your life's purpose? Like, those two have to have a connection to them, but most people don't follow their intuition, I guess.
They don't.
So, yeah.
It's not that they don't. Everyone has it. It's just no one's ever expressed it as freely as we are now. In this Aquarian age, golden age that we're into, we're able to express especially this intuitive gift. It's a knowing. We've always had it. We're higher beings. We're energetic beings. Of course, we're intelligent. And it is just the mainstream of doing the same thing every day, ho hum, suppress that beautiful, insightful gift that we all have within each other. Sometimes intuition is triggered after some people have severe trauma in their life, a death, a passing of someone very dear to them, or also a near-death experience in a hospital that some people pass and they come back and they realize, oh, wow, there's something here. And ever since then, they have that inner knowing that they need to follow. And with me, there were so many things that triggered and knowing and everything. I mean, I even sensed my one sister in Utah that she was in danger in college. She was in her room and I felt it. She was being violated. So I felt it all the way from the East Coast, Philadelphia, all the way to there. So sometimes there's something that triggers you to wake up that beautiful energetic source that will say, hey, start listening. Please start listening. This is you. I'm trying to wake you up. Please wake up. This is you. This is what you need to do for everyone involved. If it's not for everyone, do it for yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's when you start learning your purpose in life. And that's when it starts. You can't run before you walk. Right. You can't get on a bike before you fall a couple of times. That's what intuition is. Once you ignite that little switch that's within you, it's always been within you, then you start listening and then you start saying, oh, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe this led me to do something else because I had to learn this to wake it up to do the next step. Mm-hmm. So that's what intuition is.
It really resonates with me a lot. I feel like I'm following my intuition a lot more as I get older. I feel like each year that passes, I'm becoming more and more in tune with myself and listening more. I find even all of our psychic abilities, because we all have them, I find that developing them more, you have to be really aware of your surroundings, aware of how you feel, aware of how things make you feel. And I feel like in all of that, my intuition is just like exploding. Right. So it's amazing. It feels really good.
It does.
Suppress it, you know? Yeah. Most people don't listen to that voice. And a lot of times when something happens, someone says, I knew that. I knew, but they didn't listen to it because they just don't trust enough, maybe.
Right. And sometimes now that we're exposed to so much technology and everything's coming at you ad hoc, intuition is you need to be still.
Yes.
Sit still. Make time out of that day. Before you wake up or even before you go to bed, make that time for you to sit still, get a journal out, get your angel cards, whatever makes you peaceful. Do yoga, even if it's stretching. You're getting that in tune self-knowing. You need to shut down. Enough with the social media. I shut down sometimes. I really do. I have to shut down because that's how I develop my skills higher and higher when you shut it down.
In the morning, I started a morning routine a long time ago. And then as life gets on, it kind of gets a little wonky here and there. And during COVID, during our quarantine, I have had so much spiritual growth because I've had time. And I started every morning off in quiet meditation. Then I journal and then I do my angel cards. And it's funny, my cats sit with me every morning with all of these 3 things every single day. It's like they're such healers and they want to be a part of it. But it has set the trajectory of my day in such a different way. And I was just telling a hair client the other day, I said, despite the fact that people got sick and, during this, that was terrible.
It was horrible. Yes, it was.
But there was a lot of spiritual growth. I'm not going to lie. I said, I really, really grew from this experience because it allowed me time and quiet. Like you said, that quiet time to get inside and meditate and really follow my intuition. And beautiful things are coming from this. There's lots of cool things on the horizon, guys. So stay tuned.
Yeah, if you don't shut down, the universe actually did it for us back from February and on. And it's sad to say that some people did experience it and it was scary for them and it made them wake up to look and take care of yourself. And some people, it just enhanced their gifts, or some people say, let me read that book that I've been wanting to read for a while. Let me go back to my artistic drawing that I've always wanted to do since I was 8 years old. That was me. I went back. I love to draw. I love to paint. I went back and did that too. So it was a blessing in disguise in a way.
Yeah. Well, speaking of books, my last question is, what book do you recommend to our viewers that's been a game changer for you that you feel our viewers might gain something from?
This book is it's not spiritual, but it's pretty awesome because it relates to all people of all kinds. It's called The Seed: Finding Purpose and Happiness in Life and Work by John Gordon. Here we go.
Ooh, I'm going to link it in the comments. I'll link the Amazon link to this. So if anybody wants to check it out,
Right.
I'm not going to lie, guys. Some of the books that these guests have recommended have been game changers for me. I can't even tell you. So I'm excited to check it out. I always look into the books you guys recommend. And you said The Seed by John Gordon. I'm going to, I'll get the Amazon link, guys. I'll put it in the comments. And yeah, I mean, if you think about it, this type of book, everybody needs to balance, right? You said it's with work and life and stuff like that. So
It is.
yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. So I'm
And
excited.
the very first chapter is talking about a guy in corporate America who was so passionate when he finished college and he's into it. And now his boss knows that he's not into it. And he's like, I'm going to give you 2 weeks paid before you give me the 2 weeks resignation to find out your life purpose. That's how the book starts. So it's going to relate to everyone in all different areas of your life, whether you're a hairdresser, nail tech, lawyer, anybody.
Yeah.
It just starts off like that. And the seed is actually you planting that seed and figuring out where you're going to flourish and where you're going to bloom.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm going to check it out. Thank you for recommending that.
No, you're
That's
welcome.
awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being on tonight. This was so much fun. I always love talking with you. Your energy is it's so nice, and you have such a light around you. And the fact that I see angel wings behind you just makes my heart happy. So I love that. So
well, you're welcome. I love it too. I have it in my meditation area, and that's my go-to. And it's my pleasure meeting you all and discussing this. And Jillian, very grateful for you for this opportunity as well. And love and blessings to everyone.
Thank you so much. Guys, her website, Myrna's website, is up on here again if you guys want to check her out and connect. Possibly try out craniosacral or Reiki or IET or any of the cool services she provides. You would not be disappointed. Really, really amazing stuff. And yeah, that's it, guys. So next week is we're going to be back, same time, same place. The following week after that, we're taking a week break. But so that don't forget to tune in this week coming up, and then we have a little bit of a hiatus. So thank you, Myrna, so much for being on tonight. This was so fun. I will see you.
Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
So much. And thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next Thursday, same time, same place. And thanks again, everybody. See you later. Bye, Myrna.
Bye.